I really like what Distracted by Design did, where he 3D printed the Windows window screen, and he used it as a clock and a timer, and I thought that was amazing and beautiful, and it looked really good. And so what I would like to do for MakeEverythingAnalog.com is 3D print a website that kind of looks like a regular website, just physical, 3D printed, and then take a picture of that and use that as the website. Ideally, the website will be so analog and so 3D printed and so physical that I could literally ship you a web page with some ESP32s and some electronics. You could like press the buy now button and it'll like actually buy it somehow. That's a little bit more complicated, and that's going to be a whole project within of itself, and I do not got time for that right now. But that's the goal. The goal is that it should be like an analog website, and when you go online to visit the website, it should be like a picture of the analog website. I was thinking, let's say like here's the website, right? Let's say I take a picture of the website, and these are all 3D prints everywhere. I was thinking that when you click on a product, it'll like kind of shift the camera view so that this is on top and everything else is kind of like to the side, just like this. Shift the camera view. And because everything's 3D, you'll get that parallax, or you'd get that 3D effect where, you know, the middle thing right now doesn't really have, you can't really see the sides of it, but then when you come from here, then suddenly you can see the sides of it. And before, when you saw the sides of the one in the corner, now you're looking at it straight down. The problem is that I'd have to take the camera and move it to every single, I'd have to move the camera to every single feature on the page from every other feature on the page. So let's say you're here and you want to go there, I need to move the camera there. But if you're here and you go there, I need to move the camera there. So that would be like, that's already, so basically the amount of things I have on the page, it would be like exponentially more filming. And I don't even know how to put that together into a video. That doesn't even like make sense. Or maybe I could, I don't know. But then the camera would have to be in the exact spot every time, so it's a little complicated. The next thing I was thinking of doing is Gaussian splatting, and that I could just do from a single picture or from a video. I could do Gaussian splatting from a video, and then that would work. But to get Gaussian splatting to render on a web page, I'm not entirely sure how to do that. And also, I also don't know how to do Gaussian splatting, and it seems really complicated, and you need lots of tools, and I don't have time to get into that right now. If there was a way to do it in Blender, I would do it, and I tried, I think. Yeah, you need all these other tools in addition to Blender, and you need to run programs on your computer, which obviously my computer doesn't run any programs, otherwise it'll break. And also, I have the old version of Blender because the new versions kept on breaking, so I can't install the feature on that. So yeah, what I need is a nice looking background. And how do I get a plain, simple background? You know, it's just, you know, the pictures are just white or just random. You know, it's a studio photo, so they're just white backgrounds or just plain backgrounds. My question is, how do I get a nice background as the background? Like, I'm thinking like nice wood. My table, it's wood, but it's not that nice, and it's got to be something nice and something unique, something. Like, not like I just went outside and took the photo. Like, I have a very beautiful wooden table. Something interesting like that, or some interesting background that's unique and not typical and beautiful. So I need to figure that out. Yeah. Something to do with a beautiful wooden table or a beautiful wooden pattern that's big. I gotta find it somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. My other constraint that I'm having with my background design is that it has to be something that doesn't have any significance other than just being a background, something that's obviously a background. I have lots of cool, unique, interesting things and cool things, but they always signify something. They always, you know, have a story. They have, you know, there's a rabbit hole. There's like a really beautiful design thing that I have. Like, it's just a simple object, but its function is very beautifully designed. And what I really need is something that's just plain and simple and you know, like a cool pattern or something like that, and something that's unique and something that's beautiful, you know, something that you know you're not supposed to click on, something that you know it's a background, something that is just, you know, a filler space that is very beautiful and very unique. And I'm not exactly sure what that's gonna be, or how I'm gonna find that, or where I'm gonna find that. Maybe I'll just have my wife like design some stuff, you know, put some flowers on the table with some grass or something, with some leaves. But, you know, it's got to be something that's like obviously the background and obviously not clickable, and yet beautiful and unique and big enough obviously to cover the whole table. Or maybe what I could do is I could just make everything in miniature and take it on some small beautiful thing. That's actually a really good idea.